Before I begin, Martin, I just wanted to ask, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. And you?
I'm fine. So my name is Needy, and I'm from Canada, Toronto, Canada, but originally my background is Albanian.
Have you always been Christian?
No, so I grew up atheist up until around between the ages of 12 to 14. I would say my dad found Christ around that time, so that was an influence on the rest of the family as well. And then just gradually, there was a transition. I couldn't say it was one day I didn't believe in God and then the next day I did. It was a very gradual process.
So I'm Deborah, I'm 22 years old and I'm from the Netherlands.
Okay, and what made you decide to come to the school?
Well, I first wanted to attend a mission school in Austria this year for a year for becoming a medical missionary. And I prayed a lot for it, and it's actually, I don't know why, but I didn't got the peace and the affirmation. And then another woman that attended that school, she shared with me about the School of Evangelism from Clash of Minds. And I was actually immediately like, oh, I wanted to do this. But I set it aside because I focused on going to the other mission school. And then actually 2 weeks before this program started, another Dutchman, Jelle, he was the one with who I traveled with, he shared that he was going to attend this mission school. And then I got excited. I was like, oh, I really want to do this. And because the other thing, it didn't work out anymore. And I felt it really on my heart. I had the peace, and I asked if there was still some place, and there was. And I could book the same flight, so it was really a confirmation for me. And I felt the peace that I didn't have before.
Coming here, the first week was a bit different from what you probably expected.
Yeah, there was mention of a detox, but obviously we didn't really have a syllabus or an understanding of the curriculum per se of what it would be. And so we did experience that first week of a detox, which I will actually say was really a blessing, which I think makes it sound like that it wasn't a blessing. But for my travel, that was huge for me to be able to adjust and acclimate to the time changes, and even probably just even adjusting just clarity, for our minds as well. So, I actually really very much enjoyed that component of the program.
Can you share a moment where something that you've learned at the School of Evangelism have profoundly affected your faith or your life?
I think I struggle with unrealistic expectations and trying to be good enough, the whole salvation by works component of things. And that taskmaster is relentless. You can never satisfy. And so when we talked about justification by faith, while it's something I know I've heard and we have heard within the Adventist Church, just further going into that, really the reminder is that at that moment, I am made perfect. And I don't and the reminder that there is nothing over and over. We're reminded that it is impossible for us to save ourselves, and yet somehow we still operate in other ways. But that for me, justification equals perfectionism, and that equals freedom, because it's not then a work of my own, and I can just rest. And I think that that's really to further understand what it means to rest in Christ's righteousness. And so, that's a mode of life. It's a way of living. And so to have a further, deeper understanding of that is a relief.
What made you decide to attend the School of Evangelism?
It actually was a blessing in disguise. I had no idea I was going to end up here, but luckily a sponsor came through last minute, and that is the reason I'm here. It's been such a blessing.
Or what was the most challenging part of your learning experience, and how did you cope with it?
One of the most challenging parts of the experience was definitely the vastness of, or the greatness of the information that was given on a daily basis for the lessons. It's so much information, and I think coping with it was good teachers and good staff members that sort of helped us through it, spoke to us, did a lot of prayers with us. Yeah, man. Also, the Sabbath services was like a relief time where we got to sort of express ourselves concerning the messages that we learned. And I think that helped me a lot in terms of being able to understand how I will start to express this message in the place where I'll be.
My name is Koteshwar Kareti, but people call me Ishu, obviously because my name is a tongue twister. I'm originally from India, but I've been living in Ireland for the past 17 years.
Okay. So how did you learn about or hear about the School of Evangelism?
I've been following What's Up Prof, and before that, for a long time, Walter White's lectures. And so I was browsing through the website, and suddenly I see this advertisement for the School of Evangelism, for their short course on evangelism. And I went through the whole course material, got very interested, got in touch with the School of Evangelism, and I'm here.
Name something that stood out for you. What was the most impactful lesson or teaching during the school that really stood out for you?
Well, there's so many, but I think one of the most precious truths that we learned is that God is really for us, and He has created a way for us to be able to be reconciled with Him, and it's in everything. He's a God of love, and He has given us a blueprint for us to rely on, and the closer that we follow that blueprint, the greater blessings that we receive from Him, and He's just for us, and that. The three angels' messages are in everything. They are since creation, and you can find His care for His people all throughout history, even in prophecy and through everything. And so just knowing that He has a special care for His people, and He wants us to overcome, and He wants us to be with Him forever. It's just special. Yeah.
I'm Selina Heinemann. I'm from Germany, and I'm glad that I'm here.
What made you decide to come here?
Well, I didn't really want to come on one side, and on the other side I wanted to come. And I asked my parents what I think, and they told me, well, when you think you should go, then let's call Henry Stober. And I was like, yeah, let's call him. And I called him and I asked him, Henry, do you think I will manage the course here? Because my English isn't that good, but it's my opinion. Others may think different. And he asked me, how much are you able to understand when you listen to English sermons? And I was like, well, pretty much everything. Sometimes there's a word or another word that I'm not able to understand, but then I can just Google it and, oh, okay, that's a word, or I understand from the whole sentence together. And then he encouraged me, so yeah, apply. And I applied, and I wanted to come to the last course, but it was already full. And then I got a message, well, for the next course you could come. I was like, yeah, sure, I want to come. But I didn't really understand why I should apply, because I said I didn't really want on one side and on the other side, because I already got a training in mission work, and I'm already doing mission work. I already went from door to door, and I'm still doing it. Right now I'm here, and I didn't really understand why I had a strong impression to apply. And yeah, I found out why. Now I know why.
Attending the classes, that you learn any impactful lessons from the classes? And
yes, my Bible knowledge is really increased. I'm very happy with that. And the most important thing for me is that I can unravel the lies and find the truth more. So that's really good for me, and I try to explain it as well for the people who want to hear it.
Found out about the school very last minute, actually, just, less than a month before it was supposed to start. But I knew about the Clash of Minds ministry since about 2020 during the pandemic, when a friend acquainted me with it. And I had been following What's Up Prof sort of faithfully for about that entire time, almost every week. Sometimes there'd be periods where I'd skip a few episodes and I'd binge watch them to catch up. And I'd also gone through the Total Onslaught series as well, back around the pandemic. So I found out about the school in January. I wasn't sure if I could make it in time, so I just sent a question to the number asking if I can still apply, and I got a response within about 3 minutes. I didn't know because I went to sleep and I only saw it the next morning, but yeah, they said please apply. We had 2 students drop out, so we have openings. So I prayed about it and thought about it, and it was a struggle coming to a decision, but in the end I finally showed up, and here I am by God's grace.
how did you learn about the School of Evangelism here at Clash of Minds?
Listening to the What's Up Prof videos. I think whenever it was back in August, September, when you guys sort of announced the whole concept, I thought, man, I would love to go to that, but that'll probably never happen.
Can you tell us briefly how did it happen?
I just thought it's so far away. It was in 2024, and I had no idea how and what electoral implications would involve things, and just travel. And we're just living in crazy times, right? And so it was 5 weeks. At the time, I was thinking 5 weeks, and I'd never been away from my children. I have 2 little girls, 6 and 7, and it just seemed like a really long time to be away. My husband is very busy with our family farm, and it just didn't seem like it would ever be possible. I didn't worry about the finances. I felt like if this was something that God wanted to happen, then he would provide that. But yeah, anyway, I kind of sat on it and sort of put it away. But when I mentioned it to my husband, I thought he would for sure shoot it down. And he actually was like, well, I mean, I guess we should see. Because I had mentioned, I should at least put in an application, and then we'll put it in the Lord's hands. And then come February, a week or two into it, I realized that I had not ever put in that application. And I had sort of told the Lord, if I do this, then, it's in your hands. And so I never really put it in his hands. And I put in the application Monday evening, and Tuesday morning I heard from the school, which was surprising to me. And literally in a day, the Lord took care of everything. And here we are wrapping things up.